Hello again, back another episode of Week with Will. Apologies for the hair. I have genuinely stuck a comb through it, but it is fighting me today, and it sort of a little bit of curls. And I'll be honest, my hair's never been my strong point, so you're just gonna have to bear with it, deal with it. Thank you very much. Anyway, cool. So let's just get into how the week's been. I'm also going to put out my football video today. It will be separate from this, so I'll probably wear exactly the same thing, which will go up a little bit after this. So thank you if you can watch both, like both. Get at me in the comments below. I'm happy to answer any and everything. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cool. So let's have a look into what I've been up to this week. So in regards to work, for anyone obviously that doesn't know already, I'm a surveyor. So I was primarily in on the Monday to ensure that several big projects got wrapped up and got finished, including a measured building survey, because it would have needed my eye to just give it the once over, give it the check to make sure everything's spot on, which it was, which got sent off, as well as ensuring that the ditches that I was sort of working on with a few other colleagues got sent away as well, because I myself gave it a look and I found several issues with it that I didn't think it was acceptable to send off to a client, as I don't want to have my name attached to something that I don't think is right or correct, or is missing data and is not hitting the expectations for a client, because it's sort of the reputation of the company that I work for, and by extension by me as well. So I want what I do, what the company does to be well, I want what I would do to be good as well. Just a bit of positivity there throughout all of it. So I'm sure that's getting done, as well as doing some of the in-house training, sort of using the Bridge app, which is sort of a new bit software to get to grips with within the company. Sort of looking at sort of it's an internal thing to look at sort of different sort of training and communication with management, to ensure that you can sort of understand sort of the different hardware, the different software. Some of it might be stuff that I've already learned, some of it sort of a bit new to me. It's a little bit of a tick box exercise. Every now and again you'll find something different and new on how to approach certain things. Most of it being the fact that I've been within the industry, within the company itself for quite a while, was sort of second nature. It's all fine. So just tick that off, get that all sorted and signed for. Yes, to which I've then also received a big thanks from the company, as I believe our company motto is: we care, we share, we deliver, and I think we grow. I think the fourth one was sort of the recent one that was added. So I got a big thanks earlier in the month for caring, sort of helping a few colleagues better understand Enforce, which is the processing software we use, to which sort of produced thankfully several people said that, so I got sort of that. So there's a small Amazon voucher which will go a long way into helping for Christmas shopping, as Christmas in itself, now that sort of getting paid, is going to be my main focus, considering I've got about 3 birthdays and about 15 Christmas presents to get. So it's going to be a lot of things to worry about there. So the idea is that I'm going to start now-ish, and hopefully when it comes around to December, there's only sort of Christmas trip and then sort of a few little bits afterwards, and then I can put my feet up and relax, because I just make it as stress-free as possible, which I think everyone sort of wants, because I'm not one of the people that can go around and do on Christmas Eve and get everything sorted out nicely like that. It's too difficult, it's too hard as far as I'm concerned. But there we have it. Cool. So my Tuesday and Wednesday were looking at a job within Bury St Edmunds for one of the one of the contractors that we do work for sort of previously, which asked for a very specific specification, primarily meaning sort of 5 meter sort of spacing between levels, between points, including showing the curb line sort of a bit sort of nicer as well. So you're showing the bottom of a curb, the top of it, and the back of the curbstone, which is something sort of required from the client, because they like to have a 3D model with the topographical survey. Because primarily we show everything as a 2D CAD drawing, but we also produce a 3D layer, which is primarily just all in one layer. For this client, it's all kept on separate ones, so you can see that these 3D points are related to that wall, that curb line, that change in surface, as it were. So it makes it a sort of quite unique client and a unique specification, to which makes things it's a better deliverable, but it's probably a bit more fiddly to sort out. But managed to get the 2 days of the job, sort of for the Tuesday and wrapping everything up on the Wednesday, to which you can then start drawing up the whole job on the Thursday, which I slightly struggled to do, but I knew I was going to be able to try and create time for myself on the Friday. There's a smaller job for the same client, sort of a bit further away, sort of Haverhill-ish sort of way, in order to, sort of small section of road, which I managed to do, sort of wrapped up by lunchtime. Can head back, can finish up the Tuesday and Wednesday drawing, sent over, and I've got that Friday job set up and lined up for me for next week. That's the one thing I know I've got next week, because I don't know the rest of the plan just yet. Well, hopefully should be out and about sort of the Tuesday, Wednesday time, depending on where the manager would like to send me. Fingers crossed, somewhere nice. Hopefully, if he's watching anyway. Cool. So that's the main week covered as a whole. Saturday in itself, I had my brother come around to have a look at several issues within the house, as I want to get it into a bit more sort of ship shape. One of the issues I sort of have is in my bedroom and bathroom, which are sort of technically north facing, I suppose, side of the house. There's sort of mould along the top, and we're trying to work out what it is. This is something that I've been very worried about and trying to fix for quite a while. This was originally tried to resolve it through cleaning the guttering, having a look at any gaps within the roofing, which there wasn't any. It was highlighted that I needed to clear out the vents in the bathroom where there wasn't enough of an airflow going in and out, as well as that with the hot and the cold air meeting around the eaves, to double check the insulation in the loft space actually going further out to discourage where that hot and cold air is meeting. That's creating condensation, which is creating the mold. So I've covered those two issues. Potentially need to get a builder in to fix that one out. I'm not the best person when it comes to these sorts of things, so I'm hoping that I've covered that those two things might work. So I might clean those walls out a bit later, anti-mold paint, see if that works. If not, I'm going to get the builder. I want to try and avoid doing that if I can. It might be a requirement, but it's obviously I want to avoid that because it's money at the end of the day, and this is probably the worst time of the year to try and have any extra expenses, because there's already going to be a lot of expenses coming up. But yes, there we have it. So beyond that, I then cleaned up the house, sort of hoovering, just wiping things down, cleaning things up. Some small Halloween decorations going on throughout the house, as my partner is a massive fan for Halloween, which is fair enough, and seems to enjoy Halloween more than Christmas, which I don't know. I don't personally see the massive appeal for Halloween. I've never went trick-or-treating as a kid, partly because I lived in a quite small village where there wasn't exactly many children or many people going around. Obviously that's slightly different considering I now live within a town that I'm seeing more and more of it. However, I've never been about for any of the trick-or-treating when it's happened whilst I've lived here, because that goes on whilst I'm still at work. That's when the children are out and can run around. I myself am busy at that time, at work obviously, unless I decide to finish early and hand out sweets and so on. But I don't know. I'm not big on that one. But there we have it. So hopefully it's a bit, spooky now. I've sort of taken up a lot of the space on my mantelpiece now, which has upset the cat, because now he's got no space to sit along there, so he can keep an eye out for when I get back or when I driving. Because when I reverse into my driveway, the first thing I see is my cat peeking through the blinds, just saying hello. Yes, partly because he's obviously invested in when he can eat next, which is fair enough. I suppose I'm very much the same, so he's taking after his owner. Yes. So then, today, with being Sunday, I have just recently gotten back from nephew's birthday party, sort of at the Clip and Climb within Ipswich. Sort of, you attach yourselves to harnesses, you climb up and down walls. I myself have tried this a while ago when I've had friends visiting. I'm not a fan of it. It's not an issue over climbing. It's an issue over how much do you trust a harness. Now, adults seem to have that fear. Some of them do. Children definitely do not have that fear. I have a nephew who's less than half my size, no fear, straight up, like it's a rapid drain pipe, as it were, without any fear, without any worry. I'm a little bit envious of that, but it's probably best to have the fear side of things, to be perfectly honest with you. Yes, and then sort of there was my sister's birthday, so I managed to drop off her presents up there as well. So all the birthdays are wrapped up now, so I've got one more in November, a couple more in December. So these are sort of things that I need to start worrying about and thinking about, but we've got plans in motion for potentially for November 1, but we'll see about the rest. But yes, that should be me wrapped up for now. Cool, so my happy song, I'm going to revert back to a band I've mentioned previously, Punk Rock Factory. They do lots of silly covers of 90s songs, of Disney songs. So the most recent one that they've released is a cover from Bewitched called C'est la Vie. Irish band, lots of jigs and dances sort of in there. Technically not supposed to be proper Irish jigs, but they like play on the Irish side of things, as it were. The rock band Punk Rock Factory are not Irish. I'm fairly certain of that. I think they're Welsh. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that. I originally thought they were American. Once again, I don't do that much research into individuals or bands. If I like the music, I like the music. I like this. This is an upbeat song originally. This is upbeat song with guitars, so it's even better for me, so I love it. But peace out for now. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.